Meanwhile, the family of a 13-year-old boy is now planning his funeral after he was shot and killed near a skating rink in southwest Atlanta over the weekend. Deshon Dubose's family spoke with our Dawn White in an exclusive interview. They tell her he was an innocent bystander.
Words of remembrance in chalk lines the outside of Drew Charter School, where 13-year-old Deshon Dubose made his mark as a 7th grader.
If anybody's a grandmother out there, you should feel my pain right now.
Vanessa Rogers, Deshon's grandmother, is still coming to terms with him never coming home.
I have cried, and I can't. The tears won't stop until I get justice.
1 minute we good, next minute it come back. We taking it hard.
Deshon Dubose was a 13-year-old that loved life and was a gentle giant and wise beyond his years. He had a big heart and with a big smile to match. He was a member at the East Lake YMCA and was a 7th grader at Drew Charter School, a place he had attended since pre-K on the east side of Atlanta. Some of the kids, who jokingly called him grandfather or grandpa because he had a little old soul, said Sean Harris, Drew Charter Junior Academy Dean of Students. He would always ask me, "How's your mom doing? How's your family doing?" According to his teachers, he was a kind, gentle boy who loved to volunteer in his community. He would regularly volunteer at Joel's food distribution events over the past year and had a desire to be a pastor like his grandfather. Joel would describe Deshon as a genuine, loyal, adventurous, kind person who loved his family and friends. His mother, Charlotte Dubose, would pick up Deshon from school every day and take him to a nearby YMCA where he would swim and play basketball with a classmate. He loved basketball a great deal, and specifically the Drew basketball team. He would go to every game and watch his best friend who plays basketball. He also would go to support his teammates and his classmates. He was a regular teen and enjoyed doing regular teen things. On Saturday, January 21st, Deshon would go to Cascade Skating Ring at 3351 Martin Luther King Drive with his friends. When the young teens were leaving the skating ring for the night and they were waiting outside, there was a group of youths that got into a fight and shots would ring out, and sadly, Deshon would be hit multiple times by stray bullets.
A family of a 13-year-old left to plan a funeral.
It is a tragic story. Deshon Dubose was shot and killed in Atlanta. He was with friends near the Cascade family skating rink. Molly Oak is hearing from his family this morning. They say the middle schooler was an innocent bystander.
His grandmother was barely able to speak yesterday as she and family members begged people in the community to put down the guns.
He had nothing to do with the group of kids that were shooting. He did not even know them. As they were standing outside, one of the group of kids shot the gun up in the air, but another group of kids took that as an insult and began shooting at them. Kids everywhere started running, including Deshon Dubose, and he was shot repeatedly and killed. My heart hurts. My heart cries. I remember being a teen, going skating on the weekends with friends, and never having to worry about experiencing what these young children have to these days. No kid should ever be murdered, but he was not even a kid that was a part of the streets. He was leading a positive life. I mean, the dean of students at his school, Sean Harris, said he talked to everybody, the administrative assistant, the principal, the custodians, because he was just that kind of kid. Now, Deshon's desk and locker are covered with heartfelt messages written on paper and sticky notes, detailing how the school isn't the same without him and how they miss him so much. The morning after the shooting, Harris remembered feeling numb at home after getting a call that Deshon had died. He didn't want to believe it. Drew is not a big school. It is a very small community-based school with roughly 150 kids in each grade, so they really have an opportunity to know each student by name and by face, according to Harris. That's why no one wanted to believe it, and never would they have thought in a million years that Deshon would be shot. Harris tried to wrap his head around how to best support his students when they returned to school. He said Deshon's death was felt from kindergarten to 12th grade, so counselors were made available at both the school's lower and upper campuses. Despite their pain, grieving students found the strength to honor his memory by decorating his locker and desk and writing messages in chalk in the front of the school. They also made banners that the kids signed, Harris said, which were their form of being able to share tributes in some way. Harris said he grew close to Deshon after the student volunteered to be a part of the K-12 mentoring program called Dreamers, which focused on community service and exposure. Charlotte Dubose, Deshon's mother, said her son was never angry and always found a way to brighten her day. If he knows that I'm down, she said, he knows how to make me smile. He knows how to lift me up. This is what my child did. Harris would say that his most recent memory of Deshon was a few weeks ago when the 13-year-old dedicated a few hours after school to help create and design shoe boxes, which they filled with hygiene and feminine products to give less fortunate people in the area, and Deshon stayed as late as possible to make sure everything was done smoothly and that the boxes were packed correctly. He really loved community service and wanted to give back.
Deshon's family says he was quiet and kept to himself, either studying or playing video games.
I would like for him to be remembered for his humbleness, for his caring for others, for his gentleness, because he's known as being a gentle giant.
I hurt because I had great aspiration for him. I had great plans for his future.
Those plans included becoming a pastor.
On Thursday, that love was directed back at Deshon from those at school who dressed in all white and wore black sunglasses, the attire he enjoyed wearing. The school's basketball team also retired the number 54 and created a plaque in his honor during their last home game Thursday evening. On Friday, the kids will honor Deshon again, this time wearing red, as a tribute to one of Deshon's favorite colors. My heartfelt condolences go out to this family and friends of this young child who has so much life to live, and I'm sure he would have continued to do great things. So please comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in their difficult time, and that justice be served and they find who did this. And please hit that like button to share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.